To God be the glory. A respected Reverend Dr. Rustam Kaiser and Jeffrey, D.D. PhD, Advisor, International Mission Director. I'm reading Pastor's writing. Today is a portion 82. It's a Bible, Revelation, Book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the word of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at end. And I refer to Pastor's writing. A problem of the Thyatira. Here was the problem of Thyatira. The threat came from inside the church. There was a strong movement led by the women addressed Jezebel, which plead for compromise with the world's standards in the interest of business and economical prosperity, maintaining no doubt that the Holy Spirit could preserve them from any harm. The answer of the risen Christ is unequal. With such things, the Christians must have nothing to do. Thyatira, the state of church in Thyatira, R.H. Charles point out that by far the longest 7 letters is written to the most unimportant of the 7 cities. But its problem was far from being unimportant. For all that be 7 letters, this is that be most enigmatic. Our problem is that we are presented with a series of 4 questions. What was the situation of the church in Thyatira? Who was this Jezebel? What did she teach? What do the promises made to the church at Thyatira mean? The letters opens with a description of the risen Christ, which has been threatened in it. His eyes like a flame of fire, and his feet like a burnished bronze, and a description is taken from that of an angelic messenger in Daniel 10:6. And I refer to Bible, Daniel 10:6. His body was like an beryl, and his face as the appearance of a lightning, and his eyes as a lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like the color of polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of multitude. His face was like the appearance of lightning, and his eyes and like a flame of torches, his arms and legs like the glimpse of a burnished bronze. The flaming eyes must stand for 2 things: blazing anger against sin, and the awful penetration of that gaze which struck the discussions away, sees into a man's innermost heart. The brazen feet must be stand for the immovable power of the risen Christ. A message that begin like that will certainly be no smoothing tranquilizer. The letter goes on to terms of the higher praise, the love and the loyalty and the service and endurance of the church at Thyatira are the matter of praise. We must note how these great qualities go in pair. Service is the outcome of love, and patience, endurance, the product of loyalty. Then comes that condemnation of the women, Jezebel, and all ways and teaching, and one can hardly avoid that conclusion that she had a very considerable influence in the church at the Thyatira. The necessarily conclusion seems to be this on the surface, that the church at Thyatira was strong and flourishing. If a stranger went into it, he would be impressed with its abundant energy and its generous liberty and its apparent steadfastness. For all that, there was something external missing. Here is a warning: a church which is be crowded with the people and what is a heavy of energy, having energy, it's not necessarily a real church. It is a possible for a church to be crowded because its people come to be enter, entertained instead of the instructed, and to be smoothened instead of confronted with the fact of sin and the offer of the salvation. Maybe a highly successful Christian club rather a real Christian congregation. May God bless you all richly. Thank you. Tirzahyadav signing off. Amen.